All right, I want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Enough respect to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth worldwide. This lesson is going to be entitled FEMA Camps, FEMA Coffins, Red List, Yellow List, Blue List. Okay? And those are the things we're going to be discussing now. I was watching Elder Apostle Gabar's video, Bring Back the Guillotine, Apostle John's vision of the beheaded. I also checked out Elder Apostle Tahar's video, lambacking on Apostle Gabar's video, Bring Back the Guillotine. And you can see the spirit is switching, you know. The spirit has got us going into other things now due to this guy, General Yohana, shooting his mouth off, talking about these damn this stupid breakdown of the mark of the beast, which the mark of the beast, the RFID, is the RFID chip. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a thing where you're going to be given a choice. And it's part of the end time prophecy, which the apostles been going into. And I myself, you know, and all the brothers been going into it. And we're going to continue to stay on that. So just to show you that we're not making these things up, on Apostle Gabar's video, Bring the Guillotine Back to Death Row, on the comment board, he had mentioned, House Bill 1274. For the state of Georgia, the guillotine is being proposed as a form of capital punishment, and it makes sense. Other states will follow. And I actually put on the comment board, Georgia is also the place where those 500,000 FEMA coffins are stored. And I put a link to this article here, because there's an actual link which shows, you know, I remember it from back a while back, you know, that they got literal FEMA coffins which they're going to use to store bodies in, you know. And these FEMA coffins are like plastic liners. They could easily dispose of bodies. So after they behead you and chop your damn head off, or whatever they do to you, they're going to, you know, put multiple bodies inside of these FEMA coffins, because that's supposed to be the upside of having these FEMA coffins, is that they hold 3, 4, 5 full-size adult bodies. So really, I just want to hit a few articles here. This one, it says there are concentration camps in America. The idea that Nazi analogies are verboten when describing U.S. detainment camps is absurd. And it says there are concentration camps in America. The idea that Nazi analogies are verboten, whatever that means, when describing U.S. detainment camps is absurd. And this person that wrote this by Jacob Bacharach. And he says, 2 weeks ago, in a response to reports of increasingly dire conditions and ongoing family separations at migrant detention centers along America's southern border, New York Republican Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sparked a round of semantic pedantry by calling the desert detention camps precisely what they are. That is, concentration camps. And if you know anything right now, this article was written in, I don't see a date on it, but it had to be written some time ago. On the side it says July 1st, 2019, 10 a.m. Okay, so they got, you know, they're dealing with a lot of Issachar and whatnot in some of these camps, even as we speak. And it goes on, says that is concentration camps. And going on a bit further in the same Instagram live video by using the phrase never again, which fairly explicitly evokes the scepter of the Holocaust, which we know, you know, not to be true. Representative or Republican, I think it's Representative Ocasio-Cortez subsequently ever so slightly walked this back, noting the history of concentration camps dating back to the Boer War and drawing comparisons to the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II and the intended plan to move more than 1,000 imprisoned children to Oklahoma's notorious Fort Sill, which was a site of Japanese American internment, and before that for Native Americans in the late 19th and early 20th century. But never again is a phrase that young leftists and progressive Jews interpret and use broadly, while older politically conservative Jews, and these fake Jews, so-called Jews, which are Edomites, Jewish people. And many of the legacy institutions of public Jewish life is in America guarded zealously as a unique property, a trademark of sorts of the Jewish people. You know, but you got to look into that whole so-called Holocaust. And just to show you, that they exist, there's an article on it. You can go into it and read it more if you feel like doing that. But more than that, we have here a literal map of Slovakia. Let me bring it back up. Damn it. A literal map, and they have them all over, Google Images. You can go there and you can look it up. But this says about 800 FEMA camp locations in North America. This is a compilation of roughly, let me see if I can get it, if I can blow it up. No, I didn't want to blow up. Let me read it again. This is a compilation of roughly 800 actual or suspected FEMA camp locations. These locations are or could be operated by FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, should martial law need to be implemented in the United States. And all it would take is a presidential signature on a proclamation and the Attorney General's signature on a warrant to which a list of names is attached. And they got names, which is going to lead us to the next portion. But if you can go to any of these right here, they'll show you actual locations around the country where they have FEMA camps. You can go there. You can find your state, and you could actually go and look it up online as well. See that? They actually got lists. Each FEMA FEMA camp location is listed. Okay? You can find your state and find out where the nearest one to you is. And if you look at the FEMA zones map, FEMA regional contacts, they got everything divided into zones in which they're going to police certain zones according to what so-called disasters happen. If you go to this one right here, right? I mean, there's so much information out there. You see this with Homeland Security and different things. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You can go look these up. They got maps, and they actually already have in place. They got the FEMA coffins, they got the FEMA camps, they got the nuclear ovens, they got the guillotines. These things are already in place. We looked at that. So I'm also getting to this a little bit. It says here, Mysterious Earth, FEMA, red list, blue list, yellow list, black list. Are you on FEMA's kill list? Locations and executive orders. And for some reason they put a bunch of fluff, bunch of videos of you fucking harlots. If you go here, it says from government documents to startling evidence, the conclusion is evident that the lists are real, but when will they use them? The people have a hit list of their own, and people are waking up in the thousands daily. We have to look at all the evidence and try to see the big picture. Could all of this information be real and true? Or are these just more conspiracy theories? Yes and no. There are many truths weaved in between lies and misconceptions. Many things that people believe are simply not true, and many things people do not want to believe are very true. Look into HR 645, FM 3-19.40, Rex 84, Operation Garden Plot, Operation Cable Splicer, CILF, Civilian Inmate Labor Facilities, and Military Police Internment Resettlement Operations, because these are the real subjects to research and discuss. I have been accused of trying to scare the mass population with this book, but in reality, I am only presenting news that I have researched in one place for the world to see, nothing more, nothing less. All of my resources are listed on at the end of this book for you, the reader, to research and validate or debunk. Now, I would say that these red list, blue list stories have been circulating for well over 20 years now, and a lot of these supposed prison train cars reported to be equipped with benches and shackles that I personally have seen are simply just car haulers with ramps for the cars to sit on, and the chains are to keep them tied down in place, which I don't believe that at all. Now here, red list, blue list, yellow list, black list. We are all on a red or blue list somewhere. Those on the red list will be woken at 4 a.m., taken to the camps, and probably killed. Red list. These people are the enemies of the NWO, which is the New World Order. They are the leaders of patriot groups, outspoken ministers, outspoken talk show hosts, community leaders, and even probably net leaders. These people will be dragged out of their homes at 4 a.m. and will be taken to FEMA detention centers and killed. This will take place approximately 2 weeks before martial law is enforced. Blue list. These are also enemies of the NWO but are followers of the red list folks. These people will be rounded up after martial law is in place and will be taken to the detention centers and re-educated. Various mind control techniques will be used on them. Most will not survive this. Mr. Springmeyer was not specific on exactly who was on the blue list, but I would guess that people such as you and I are on that list. Yellow list. These are citizens who know nothing about the NWO and don't want to know. They are considered to be no threat at all and will be instructed as to how to behave and will most likely do whatever they are told. Unfortunately, there are too many of these to be Unfortunately, there are too many of these to be effectively controlled, so many will be killed or starved. Blacklist. I have recently heard that the red and blue lists have been combined into one and is called the blacklist. All blacklist citizens will be marked for execution. And how are they going to execute you? They're going to execute you with guillotines, with different ways, with different methods, man. Different methods they're going to execute you, And when you go to the scriptures, I'll make sure to put all these links in the video. When you go here in the scriptures, it talks about these things. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And what's the prison? The FEMA camps, the concentration camps, right? And who's that devil? The so-called white man Esau. Unmistakable. That you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that tribulation is during that time they're going to be trying to force you to either take that mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, or you're going to perish. You see? Now, in most cases, the Lord, in some cases, the Lord is going to intervene and not allow you to be put to death, but many are going to be martyred. Revelation 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that hour of temptation is when you're locked in a FEMA camp, or when the times get so bleak, the only way you're going to be able to survive is take that RFID chip. And that's just the bottom line. No man might buy or sell save he that had the mark of the beast or the number of his name. Period. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. In that hour of temptation, you're going to be tried with the whole world. You're going to be wondering whether you should take it or whether you should not. And many, like was in the articles, they're going to have you on one of those lists. More than likely, all you Israelites, you just on the blacklist. You marked for execution, man. Especially us that preach and you that listen to this word every day. This is not a joking matter. Now, you can go to the articles that I saw, but you can also find your own articles on these very same things from more credible sources. This is Jeremiah 6 verse 10. It says, to whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it. Therefore I am full of the fury of the Lord. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad, and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken, the age with him that is full of days. And their houses shall be turned unto others, with their fields and their wives together. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, saith the Lord. Right. And that's going to be when you get taken out of your house, and they're going to take your property, and they're going to take you and toss your ass into a FEMA camp. Either going to execute you or whatever. They got the guillotine set up for the hour of temptation, and it's rapidly approaching. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I'm just going to jump in here at a particular point. Listen to what it says about martial law. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 67. It says, behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. You see? And they that consented to them shall be had in derision and in reproach, and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Right. You're gonna be, it's gonna be a terrible, terrible time. And that's Jacob's trouble that the scriptures speak about. And we read about it already. Now it's another scripture, 2nd Ezra. Let me see if I can get to it. Chapter 15, I believe it is. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, and I won't even bother to go there and get it. That's during the time of martial law. And all these things are tied together. Martial law, which Jacob's trouble is going to be martial law, the RFID chip, mass killing, death, slaughter, insurrections, natural disasters, right? World War III is going to be going on. A lot of things are coming down the pipe. And you can find evidence of that. These other Israelite groups, they're not warning you about these things, man. Because why? They're bought and paid for. This is Matthew 24, verse 20. It says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. You see, so that time is coming, man. For the elect's sake, those days are going to be shortened. Daniel 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. But we know there are going to be many martyrs that go along with that. The guillotine is going to be used. They got gas chambers. They got nuclear ovens to do away with your bodies. And a particular reason that they want to use the damn guillotine, what Apostle Gabar was speaking on, damn it. What Apostle Gabar was speaking on, they want to use that guillotine mainly because what? Because it leaves your body intact, bro. So they can steal your damn organs, man. That's something that can be understated as well. Jeremiah 30, verse 7, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So we know overall the Most High is going to allow Jacob to be saved out of this. The elect is going to make it, but a lot of the elect, not a lot, but there's going to be also brothers that get martyred. Some of the elect will be martyred. And that's just the bottom line. So I got here, finally, I'm going to play this clip. I played it the other day. I'm going to play it again, which shows a lot of the things that we just read about. So stay tuned. And after that, that's going to end the video. I want to say all praise to the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Enough respect to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth worldwide. I'm going to play you a clip from this movie, Gray State. It's got the Mark of the Beast. It's got the FEMA camps. It's got the insurrection. It's got the Civil War. It's even got executions in it. Stay tuned and watch.
things were.
Not here yet of every enemy of the state.
And then I woke up here.
And there you have it. That's it. So with that, we'll see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right. Look for these articles in the description. See you soon with another lesson, Lord willing. Shalom.